Hello and welcome back to TNI UK Impacted episode 216. Joe, we will get that right eventually, won't we? I know it's a brand new stream and everything, but we will get that right eventually. Coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. And if you listen on the go, then we're also available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are there. Of course, I am your host, Bison, and I am joined today by the man coming to us from the void of his own mind, of course, the Joker. And of course, highlighting from your, well, say highlighting, disco in, I don't know, maybe disco in or I don't know, fancy lighting himself here all the way from a local nightclub. Of course, we've got LimpstarUK Craig, who's just disappeared on me. What's going on, Joe?
It's
the element of surprise.
Signal's messed up.
Yeah,
he's back.
He's back. The legend is back. So the legend coming to us from our local nightclub, of course, Craig. Nice to see you, bud.
I made it.
Did.
Stuff roadworks. Stuff the UK drivers. I'm done with driving and roads and people who own cars.
Oh, mate, I know what you're saying. Hey, Joe, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I mean, Craig's obviously pissed off with driving and traffic and all that kind of stuff. He's also...
Well, it's the UK. It's our job to be pissed off with traffic.
He's also got a very sore... I think he's got a sore leg as well, because I think he had a tattoo yesterday. Didn't you have a tattoo?
I do have a pretty sore leg, but to be fair, it's worth it. So shout out to Slater for the tattoo from Sinister Arts. He's an absolute genius.
Is he really? It looked good. I'm not going to lie. The picture you said did look pretty good to me. I'm down with it.
Yeah, man. When it's healed, it'll look absolutely banging.
I can imagine. I've got to get my smoke. I'm going to get my smoking skull from my Steve Austin smoke. I'm going to get it. Definitely. I've got lots of skulls, but this I think a smoking skull would probably fit quite nicely. Can you see my?
Yeah.
Would fit quite nicely in there, I reckon.
Yeah, book it, get it done.
Book it and get it done.
Get like a 360. A 360.
360. Austin's going to kick your ass.
Just get SOB underneath it.
That'd be good. SOB. That's it. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. He's gonna kick your ass. Right, you son of a bitch. Anyway, today, guys, we have a very, very vivacious, vicious guest. Coming to us all the way from Philadelphia, of course, we have Vicious Vicki. Gonna let her in, Joe?
The suspense, Joe. The suspense.
I was distracted by the chat.
He's totally distracted by. He was distracted by my super impressive intro. That he just completely forgot to let you in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fair enough. Hey, Vicki, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. Slight correction. I am from New Jersey.
Okay, but I
am a Jersey girl through and through. So
okay.
Oh man, that's pretty. That's quite the difference there, mate. You could have offended a lot of people by saying
no.
It's not that far.
No offense whatsoever. I love my Philly folk, and it's not far from me anyway, so it's okay.
I didn't think it was far because I know that
it's not.
No, you do a lot of you do a lot of gigs in Philly, don't you?
Yeah. So a couple things at the ECW arena, which is always really cool to be there and relive that and be a part of that. But yeah. So, fun times.
All good. Now, obviously, the main reason that you came to our attention, with us being obviously a TNA based podcast, was that you made an appearance, I think it's about 4 or 5 months ago now, on TNA Explosion, where you debuted with Kelly Madden versus the Spitfire, of course, Jody Threat, and the UK's very own Danny Luna. How was that experience for you?
That was amazing. TNA or Impact once upon a time. Glad it's the TNA brand again. But TNA and WWE are the two companies that I've always wanted to work for and always wanted to be a part of. So I think having had an actual TV match in TNA and being able to kind of work with two girls that have been killing it lately was huge. I always wish there's more. I want more. I want to be able to showcase who the hell Vicious Vicky is, especially in a singles match. I think I can do more in that sense. But the experience overall was great. I made some relationships and, really excited to hopefully go back sooner than later. I don't want to wait anymore.
No,
I'm
that's
sick of
fair. That's
waiting.
fair.
I'm sick of
What
waiting.
what was the experience of meeting a legend like Gail Kim, for instance, and the kind of mentorship she could have possibly offered? I don't know. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, she was super sweet and just for someone like me, who's been watching wrestling my entire life and having seen her in an era where I, felt more hope to be a women's wrestler. Going back when I was extremely young, but having her knowledge and having her kind of overseeing the match and overseeing the card even, and just kind of getting her input on things, and just I don't take it for granted. I don't take for granted the relationships I've built in my career, with these legends and veterans and people that came before me who paved the way and made it what it is. So to kind of have her, being the advocate for the women was really cool to see in action.
Did she actually produce the match, or was someone else involved backstage?
So she definitely helped a lot. She had a big part in it. Tommy Dreamer as well, who's a friend of mine who I love dearly and has been very helpful in a lot of things. Him as well. He had some say in it. So they all kind of work together, which I think is awesome actually, because you're getting so many different flavors from so many people who are brilliant. Which sometimes can be overwhelming in a great way because you're getting so much advice from all these great minds that it's just like, whoa, like what is my life? Um, but yeah, I think everybody was kind of hands on with helping out for sure.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, you mentioned before we came on that you've been on your journey now for about 7 or 8 years. Now, what is your background in wrestling? Like, where did you start to train? Who was your influences, etc.?
Oh God, yes. So I began training in 2018, at Creative Pro, New Jersey. So there's a New York school and a New Jersey school. I was in the New Jersey school, and I had the best people in the world that I could have training me, such as like a Danny Moff, who was in ROH for a long time, Pat Buck, Mario Baccara, who was once Mo Sexton in TNA. So I've had a lot of really, really great people in my corner. And then it just kind of snowballed from there, where I was like, I kind of started as like a valet and a manager. And, like 7, 8 months in, or like actually like 5 months into like training, they're like, hey, you're going out there. And I'm like, what? I'm like, am I ready? Like, but they believed in me and they kind of pushed me to be like a managerial role first. And then I kind of broke out on my own. And then Vicious Vicky just kind of grew from there. But inspirations growing up, Lita for sure. I have her name tattooed on my neck. I've showed her, so it's okay. Like, she's literally just the coolest biatch I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I always wanted to be her. I just thought she was so cool and badass. But the Hardy Boys were huge influences when they were like not even the Hardy Boys yet, like they were just these
Yeah.
little short guys coming on the scene, getting jobbed around. And I was super young watching that and loved every second of it. And having actually meeting them, and having moments with them, and being able to actually tell them that to their face, how much they mean to me, was awesome, and can't ever put that into words. But Stone Cold Steve Austin was actually my first taste of pro wrestling and
Hell yeah!
WWE.
What?
And it was like 96 or 97, and I was like 3 years old, and I'm like, whoa, that's badass. This little girl. So Stone Cold's always my goat. He's my goat. He's my everything. Like, I mean, Lita and the Hardys are for sure, but the first taste of wrestling was Stone Cold, and that's why, I've always been the heel, but everybody loves me. So I try to, and lately I'm starting to tap into that side of me a little more, of that just badass chick. Like, you like me, you don't like me, F the rules kind of thing. Like, and that's because of him, you know? So I don't think anybody there
good.
was ever really a female Stone Cold, so I'm gonna try to be the first.
Like
That
it.
would be cool. You have to shave your head though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not doing that because I like to look really pretty and stuff. I like being like hot.
Start doing this. Got to start doing this with your
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
oh man,
I
no,
love
that's
it.
cool.
I love it so much.
I was a huge. I mean, when I was growing up, when I was a little Bison, you know, Stone Cold was kind of like, you know, the ultimate son of a bitch for me. Just like
Yeah.
he was just so mad, didn't give a shit, and
Yep.
total anti-establishment, very much like I was as a child. And so I completely related to him, and then like that's what really, for me, that's what really turned me into wrestling was basically Stone Cold being such a badass. And yeah, so then basically, you know, when he retired, I almost ended my life. It was just so bad. But no, I didn't really.
Jesus.
That's terrible.
But I was,
Oh my god, I don't know how to react to that.
I was absolutely gutted. I was absolutely gutted. But then, of course, you know, I still had TNA, and I was a massive fan of TNA, so we sort of kind of kept going with that, and found more and more, you know, heroes. And I'll tell you what I was going to say to you. Right, I have said, and I'm going to see whether you see this as well as an official Stone Cold fan like myself. Do you not see elements of Stone Cold Steve Austin in Steve Maclin?
Yes, I do. I love Steve Maclin. I have nothing bad to say. He's really really cool dude. I met him a bunch of times. He has like a little relationship with my boyfriend and everything. So I love Steve Maclin. Deanna, Jersey people, let's go. Yeah, I can see it a little bit. If I had to pick someone that I saw that in on a national televised level, I would say LA Knight.
Yeah.
It's very on the nose. It's very on the nose, and I think that's by design, of course, what he's doing. But
Yeah.
but Maclin, I think, has the not the way like he talks and all that stuff, but it's more so like in the movements. I think
Yes.
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
I think in the way that he performs and the way that his like mannerisms, the way he acts in the ring, and the way he acts,
Yep, I can see it.
his characteristics, not necessarily the way he talks, but his characteristics. Yeah,
I can see it for sure.
definitely. He just needs to start doing this, and then we'd be yes, there he is. He's reincarnated.
The thing is he going to have his thrown into the ring, or are we going to just throw grenades?
I missed that. Sorry, what did you say?
It's cool, man. I'll just be quiet. My connection's probably
Okay,
bad.
sorry. No, it just broke up. Just as you said the thing that you were saying, it just broke up, so I didn't catch it. What was it?
I was saying, are we going to throw beers to Maclin, or are we going to
There
throw
you go.
grenades?
That's it. That would be great.
He drinks whiskey, so we throw him some bottles of whiskey.
Shot glasses.
Yeah,
and,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Hand grenades. Yeah, can you imagine that just pulling out like he could have a hip flask. He could like ODB. He could have a hip
Stone
flask.
Cold Steve Maclin.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Maclin. It works.
Oh, it does actually. Yeah.
It works. But anyway, getting off subject. We're getting off subject. I'm glad you mentioned Deanna. Did she ever? Was she ever in any of your training sessions then when you were training in Jersey? Because she trained in Jersey as well, didn't she?
She did, and she started years ahead of me. So I'm I think a year or so older than her, but she started light years ahead of me. So unfortunately, I wasn't in that era of women, which sucks because I should have started a very long time ago, but just life and things and just
And you didn't get right into it.
a long
We get it.
delay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted to start when I was like 16, but my parents were like, no, and I'm just like, okay, so.
Yeah, no, I know. I understand totally. But it's interesting that you've got. It sounds like you've got a fantastic grounding. You've had some great training, and you could talk. And I think one of the things that lets a lot of wrestlers down these days is that they get amazing in the ring, but quite often that they just don't know how to create a character, because
Right.
wrestling is characters. Like
Yep.
you don't necessarily have to be the best wrestler in the world as long as you can build a character and you can hold your own. Yeah,
Yep.
not everybody is going to be Will Ospreay, right? Like,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not everyone's Will
Freak.
Ospreay.
Freak of
Or,
nature.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? But but there's others, like you could say LA Knight, for instance. Like there's like they can hold their own when it comes to promo, and we say someone like John Cena, for instance, who we all know, like John Cena is like one of the all-time greats when it comes to promo, right? So
Sure is.
and LA Knight could probably hold his own, you know what I mean, with someone like John Cena. So and again, although his in ring is not necessary. I mean, I'm not saying he's not very good. That's not what I'm saying. But like he has a smaller move set, shall we
Right.
say, than
Right.
say someone like Will, for instance. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. But
Mhm.
but he can
Mate, you call him out. Are we going to see Bison?
I am.
versus
I
Cena?
call him out.
That's kicked.
I'm going to call him out, mate. I'm going to be at WrestleMania next and fight LA Knight. No, so it's all fantastic stuff. Anyway,
I'm here
so
for
good.
it.
Yeah, I'm here. Who do you think? So who do you think, other than Lita? No, you said Lita, didn't you? The Hardy Boys. They were like your biggest influences, and of course Stone Cold, as you just said. Who is the biggest name that you've actually faced in the ring, and who would you like to face in the future?
So I've wrestled. I was actually supposed to wrestle Deanna a couple years ago, and she ended up getting injured, so she had to pull off, which sucked because I was so excited to wrestle her. Um, but they replaced her with Sienna Allison Kay, so she's a name. I wrestled Tasha Steeles a couple months ago. That was awesome. I also knew Tasha. We came up together ish, so I was in the circuit with her before she got picked up. She got picked up very quick. Um, and the TNA match, Danny Luna and Jody Threat. About 2 years ago, I had a dark match in AEW against Athena. That was awesome. She kicked my ass. It was great. Um, it didn't get aired, unfortunately. It was really good. Like I sold the crap out of everything. I did my job. They apparently loved it, but this was when she was kind of like doing that turn where she was like beating everyone up.
Yeah.
And I was gonna be like the end of that, and she was like standing over my body with the bell and calling out Mercedes, and it was awesome. And like they didn't air it. I'm like, what the frig? Because they did something on Rampage that would have went against that, so it was like reverse. So they jumped the gun and it didn't get aired. But they put the graphic out and everything. So I'm sitting at the table or sitting at the TV with my family, thinking I'm watching like a televised match,
Yeah.
and it would never aired. I'm like, you put the graphic out.
Is it on
Like,
YouTube?
It's not on. How upsetting.
it's there's raw footage of it on YouTube.
Right.
Like fan footage of it, so it exists
Come
in
on,
the sphere
TNA's going
somewhere.
to treat her better. Come on.
Yeah, come on, TNA.
I have nothing. I'm not going to talk ill about any company because that's just not my style.
I will.
But
I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll do that. That's
if
fine.
I had to pick, I would prefer TNA or WWE.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Which I have relationships with both companies. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of where I fit in. It's just a matter of how. It's just a matter of how hard I work this year. My goal for 2025 is just to kick down every damn door in every single
I seen
continent, state, wherever the hell I'm going.
Your post on X where you said about your goals for 2025, and like, yeah, I fully back that because you've got that vision of what you want to do, and just go get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what's in your sights. So go and achieve it because everything there's realistic in that. And I listened to the Joe Hendry interview with Ariel. And towards the very end of what he says, he's there saying, like, he goes, I said this time last year I was going to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm in the Royal Rumble. He says, I'm saying that, like, I'm going to face John Cena. I'm going to face John Cena. So it's what you manifest to make happen. And like, I can see that from your profile. You want to make things happen, they will happen. You've just got to put yourself there.
Just go out and get it. Yeah, go out and get it. Now, it's interesting that you brought that up, Greg, because one of the things I was going to say, if anyone didn't see that message on X, what does the future hold for you, and what are your goals for 2025, so everyone knows?
Oh God, yeah. So like I said, I really, I've been doing it 7 years. I try to minus a year because of the pandemic. In 2019 I had a tryout and I was 8 months in. Like really like 8 months into actually being on my own as a wrestler and doing the thing and traveling. And I was so green and I was so not Vicious Vicki yet. Like I was still the valet. I was wearing the guy's colors. I had blonde hair because I thought that's what they wanted. Like I wasn't being me, I wasn't authentically being me. I was trying too hard. And I didn't get picked, which I didn't expect to. I worked hard, but I still had so much to learn. And but I was hopeful. I was hopeful. I was like, okay, shit. Like I got this opportunity. I'm green as goose shit, but anything can happen, like I'm in the door, like they know me, I'm in the system, let's go. And then the world shut down. I'm just like, really? And and it wasn't just me, so I'm not gonna do a pity party, but like it sucked, all the
Yeah.
momentum you built and all the stuff you put into it, it's just gone. You have to do it all over again. So it's been very hard rebuilding since then, but now I'm at a point where I know what I have to offer. I know that I'm not the best wrestler in the world, but I know my strong suit is character work. I know my strong suit is making you believe in me, making you hate me, whatever it is I can do, it works. And I believe in the lost art of pro wrestling, which is entertainment. It's not about the flips. It's not about the dips. Who can moonsault? Who could box jump? Who could just? I can put on a solid match. I can carry someone in a match. I could call a really good match. I know psychology. I've learned from legends. I'm so lucky. If someone just puts that stamp of approval on Vicious Vicky, like I'm gonna keep saying it until it circulates in the Twitter sphere and in Facebook and everywhere, that if someone puts their stamp of approval on me, it will never be regretted in the world of professional wrestling. And
I
I'm just
tell you
waiting
what,
for
if
that
you
moment.
said everything you just said just there again, drop out that bit where you say I'm not the best wrestler. That would have been a killer intro to someone. Don't ever doubt yourself for being a best wrestler. Us three can't do what you can do, so you are a great wrestler. Put it that way.
That's fair.
There you
I'll
go.
take
Don't
that.
ever
I'll
doubt
take
yourself.
that. I'll take that.
Not everybody, like we said, not everybody in the world can do the flips and the chips and the the bleeps.
Yeah, yeah.
That's from Spaceballs. Do you remember that film, Spaceballs? The blips. And
Yeah.
We ain't found shit.
Yeah. I love that.
Gonna go and comb the desert. Yeah. So there's all that. There's all that to go back to. Okay, that's fantastic. But we believe in you. We've been following you, certainly since your appearance on TNA. The first thing I was like, "Damn, this girl's pretty good," and I remember like we talked about it on one of our shows. That match we talked about it. Said what a great, it was a really good match, especially Joe, because Joe is a big fan of the knockouts and he specifically said like she's really good, and then we were like kind of like, yeah, she is good, definitely. And we enjoyed the other one as well. Is it Kelly Madden, was it?
Yes.
I think it was. Yeah, Kelly Madden. So I think we quite enjoyed Kelly as well. So along the lines of a lot of the girls that we've seen them bring on the show in certainly in the last 6 months that aren't signed, they've definitely brought something to the table. And the one thing that we feel is different about TNA knockouts is that there's no two knockouts that are ever the same.
Yes.
Right. So, and to us, someone like Jade Stone, for instance, yourself, there was a couple of others that they've had on that never really materialized again. But I remember saying at the time, Killer Kelly, when she first debuted during the pandemic, her character was completely different back then. She was a bit like a female version of Ace Austin. I think not Ace Austin, Kurt Angle. Do you remember I said that? She's like, she comes to the ring like Kurt Angle. She gets on the she looked like a female version of Kurt Angle. But then once she got signed, all of a sudden this completely different side of her, this completely different character appeared, and like I think the fandom just fell in love with her. Yep. And I think that that can happen at any given time with any given knockout that gets signed, and because every single one of them have something different to offer, the fandom tends to love them all, which I think is something which to me is quite unique about TNA knockouts. That is the unique thing that there's none.
TNA gives you that creative control, doesn't it? We've seen so many stars and stuff like that evolve in TNA. Like we've said about LA Knight when he was Eli Drake. The stuff that he done there. It was just,
he was on fire.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
TNA,
all these creative things that have come up through. Like, don't get me wrong. We get like strong stars like Eli Drake. We get ones like Curryman. it's a happy balance.
Excuse me, what is wrong with curry, man?
Give me 5 reasons. Give me 5 things that are good.
Well, for a start, he's nice and spicy.
Yeah, Shark Boy. He was Shark Boy's best friend.
We love Shark Boy. Yeah, give me a shell, yeah. He's the best Stone Cold impression ever. Yeah, so lovely stuff. Anyway, sorry, we're getting excited here, Vicki. We started talking about past TNA stuff, and we're off. We're on it. Yeah, so it's awesome. But it's been fantastic to have you on the show, and I know that you've got a couple of other things lined up today. So get out there and smash it. Let everybody see who you are, because we think you're awesome. And it looks like a lot of the people that are tuning in to us live at the moment on the chat are saying lovely things about you. There you go. So that's all good. So just get out there in 2025 and show the world who you are. And we look forward to seeing the rise.
And check out Pro Wrestling Tees as well. She's got a new shirt that is definitely inspired by Stone Cold. The skull and crossbones with the leopard print. That looks awesome.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I'll tell you what. Talking about your merch and stuff like that, can you tell us where we can find you, like your social media tags and your merch links and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees is I think it's Vivacious Vicious Vicki, which is like my old kind of shtick, but it still works. So go ahead and get that. And on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Vicious Vicki with underscores. You can't miss me. I think I'm pretty much the only one that's verified. So
that's fair enough.
That's great.
Okay, all right. So it's been great to have you on the show, and good luck with everything that you've gone. You're going to manifest it. We know you are. So good luck with all of that, and we look forward to seeing where you are, say, this time next year.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you guys so much.
No worries. Take care, Vicki. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
What about that then, guys? A surprise visit from Vivacious Vicki. Was it Vivacious Vicious Vicki? My God, that's like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like
awesome, man.
Great to have another special guest. We do love having these guests on the show, and we wish her all the very, very best for the future.
I'm sure we'll see her again soon in TNA, because it'd be stupid not to, really.
I think so.
Well, next time they're in New Jersey and Philadelphia, I would need to start plugging her in to TNA. Get the word out.
Yeah, I agree. That would be awesome. Definitely. Right, now, guys, let's get talking about the news, rumors, and, of course, TNA Impact recap of the week. We have got some information, obviously, with regards to the Royal Rumble. I don't know whether you are aware, but Joe Hendry was the 15th entry into the Royal Rumble, and there he is.
Wow, that's news to
me. Yeah, I didn't know. It's popped up today on X. I was like, what the hell? The incredible thing about it all was that he is. Yeah, well, he's made history, because he's the first ever non-WWE contract wrestler to appear in the Royal Rumble, and it was in front of 65,000 fans singing his theme tune. The pop was absolutely immense. I thought it was fantastic. Did you guys get to see this?
Oh, the pop was. I've watched the pop back so many times in the intro, so many times. So I am going to try and watch this Royal Rumble completely, because there's some of the matches that have been on there. I've seen some of the highlights from Cody versus Kevin Owens. That was insane. But I want to see the men's Royal Rumble. I want to see how Jey Uso eliminated John Cena, because everyone is so miffed about that. But I think I saw John Cena's post-match interview to that, and he's fine. He's got a different goals set now for it, and he had a really, really good post-interview. And didn't mention Joe Hendry, but Joe Hendry mentioned John Cena in his post-match interview.
Yeah, I think what Cena was basically saying was, at the end of the day, John Cena is now going into business for himself. So I think what we're gonna see maybe is a bit more of a Healy Cena, I think.
He said he's coming to he knows he's coming to the end of his time now. He doesn't need to put anybody else over. He doesn't need to do this and do that. So he's just going to be finishing it for himself. I thought that's a great way to set up any rivalry with any face from anywhere, even on. So he's really set himself up to go up with a bang.
However, Joe Hendry, baby, that would be yeah. I mean, it's insane,
Oh, it would be-
insane. Joe Hendry, number 15 in the Royal Rumble. Everyone's singing his theme tune, clapping the lot. You know, swaying. They were doing everything. There were
Yeah.
signs for Joe Hendry in the audience, as though some people knew he was going to be there, which was awesome. But yeah, no, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Sheamus also, yeah.
Yeah,
Sheamus
Sheamus's reaction, it was great. He just let Joe Hendry have the spotlight and just clapping along with him while he was tuning up the band and everything to see.
What was
And
cool
he-
about all of that was that you know, he was just sort of kind of they said afterwards. I saw a thing where he was like, to be honest, I was just loving it. I thought it was great, you know.
Yeah.
And he was just, you know, going along with it all. He said he was totally sort of kind of blown away with the reaction himself of what was going on, and he was just enjoying the moment along with Joe.
I listened to the Ariel Helwani interview with Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry has basically put out there that Roman Reigns, he's got unfinished business with Roman Reigns.
Really?
And I love that kind of like, you know, that chat, but I honestly, do not see how you get Joe Hendry and Roman Reigns in the same ring without some huge storyline, because like, yeah, I just, no, I'm binning that off. Like, I can see this whole thing with John Cena. If they were going to like start doing bits and pieces, that would be cool. Hendry versus Sheamus, that has to happen.
Definitely.
But my favorite of seeing going back and forth on that in the ring was Joe Hendry and Jacob Fatu. That is a match that I would love to see.
That is something that would probably I could see that happening. Actually, that is one I could definitely see happening.
We've seen Fatu versus Josh Alexander. That was it. Flair's
amazing.
retirement match, wasn't it?
Yeah, Fatu is amazing. Jacob Fatu is amazing.
Yeah, it was weird, like, because I haven't followed him and like his whole thing going on with the family or the bloodline or whatever it is. Seeing him come out and doing all these facial expressions, I was like, oh, okay, you're playing a character now. But it was just like seeing him in other companies before and stuff like that, just turning up, kicking ass, and then leaving. It's just amazing. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's getting the spotlight and that. But yeah, I would love to see Hendry versus Fatu. That would be brilliant.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally. Now, talking about obviously, you know, WWE personnel, you know, basically putting over Joe or putting over TNA and the talent, etc. Natalya was also calling out Masha Slamovich in an interview, claiming she was coming for the TNA Knockouts title, as well as putting over TNA in a big way. But Bayley also apparently at some point had joined in by putting TNA over as well. So
yeah, she was one of the first to say, "Let's do this." When the idea of working with TNA came around the locker rooms, and that she has to say, "Right, let's go for it."
Yeah, Bayley's been apparently pitching it to Triple H. But you know, I mean, you know, here's the thing. This is the thing, right? Now, I could definitely see Natalya and Masha, and this is coming out of Natty's own mouth, right? This is not just something that she's put out on Twitter or on X. She's actually physically in an interview saying she's coming for Masha Slamovich. Yeah. Now, where are the marks now saying that we'll never get any main roster talent coming onto TNA? Like, regardless of how you look at Natalya, at the end of the day, she is a Raw talent. She's on the Raw roster, right? The WWE Raw roster. She's involved in the training of probably 80 to 90% of the you know, the talent that's actually on WWE television. This is a big deal.
Yeah, she's
big
huge.
Deal.
She's incredible. Absolutely
and
incredible.
Bayley as well, who has recently turned up on NXT again. But she's also competing, you know, on Raw. She's or was she on SmackDown last? I can't remember where
she was on. I think she was SmackDown last, and she was one of the tag team champions before she went back to NXT.
I think she was on both. I think she was on Raw and SmackDown in the same week. So you're talking about although they're older talents now, you're talking about big name main roster talents potentially working with TNA and TNA Knockouts. this is what I'm talking about. This is not just NXT. This is main roster talents as well. And of course, hopefully we'll get the male crossovers as well. I think this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, what about Evolve as well, which they did the advert for WWE Evolve. That's going to as well. Are we going to get to see a crossover with Evolve as well?
That'll be interesting. That's more cross promotional talent, and then that's more contenders than Knockouts tag titles, more contenders for the exhibition title. That's perfect. More contenders for digital media title if Steph Delander can come back and defend it as well, or if Mance Warner.
Do you know what else? And this is the thing. This is what people seem to forget as well. Do you know what else? This creates for TNA. It creates another reason for up and coming talents or talents looking to get back to WWE to get to WWE, because they're going to get seen by WWE producers. You're going to get seen by Shawn Michaels, Triple H. You're going to get seen, Natalia. You're going to get seen by these guys. And if they like what they see, then they're gonna pick you up, aren't they? So there's another reason to sign with TNA other than just to sign with TNA. There's other avenues to be seen now. It's not just Access TV, which don't get many viewers. I'm taking a mic now, but you know what I'm saying. There's certainly a lot more opportunities now. According to Fightful, Jordynne Grace has signed a 5-year deal with WWE, which will also see her for a short time in NXT, then leading obviously onto the main roster. I think that's pretty cool as well. Sorry, Slammer. I know Natalia's not a main event star. We know that, but she is
a legend.
She is a legend for a start. She is a legend diva, and she is still on the main WWE roster. And people were saying we won't get any main WWE roster stars. They'll all be NXT stars, and that's clearly not the case. And we're already seeing it. And I think once the men start coming over as well, it's going to be just as amazing. Just as amazing. Anyway, sorry, Jordynne Grace, 5-year deal, which will start her in NXT, and she will quickly move, obviously, up onto the main roster. Awesome news for Jordynne. I'm all behind her. I think she's going to do a hell of a job. They already clearly see big things in her, otherwise they wouldn't be putting her in back-to-back Rumbles for a start. And you could clearly see
the reception she got at the Royal Rumble too. The crowd went insane as soon as her music hit. They blew the roof.
Did you see her do that body slam on that Viper Vixen girl?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Definitely to Viper, the Piper and Nevin. That was incredible. That's just an amazing feat of strength right there.
Incredible, absolutely incredible stuff, and you could tell she actually squatted her up as well. Which was insane. But yeah, that was amazing. And when she dumped her, she like literally bounced off the mat herself. She bounced into the ropes. It was amazing.
Do you know what would have been funny if she slammed her down and then bounced over the ropes? That would have been so funny. That would have been iconic. Oh my God, she's back in the Rumble. Oh my God, she's eliminated herself.
Oh dear. But a hell of a slam at the same time. But yeah. Now talking about former WWE talents, JDC obviously turned up on NXT. The chance of the system being heard in the background, and he's going to face Lexis. Is it Lexis? I think King.
Yes.
The guy with the painted on beard. He
JDC destroyed him.
I thought the promo was fantastic. I thought the reception that obviously Fandango got. It came out to his old Fandango music.
I thought that was pretty sweet, to be fair. Like the fact that he's come out to his old music and he said like it'll always mean a lot to him and that. There's a lot of respect there. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like at the same time, like he's come out and he's gone, I'm JDC from the system. I'm representing the system, stuff like that. It kind of gives the ball back to TNA for us to kind of evolve a storyline so then we can drop the system's music. Do you know what I mean? Or have the system turn up in the ring or something like that with like a mini invasion or something like that. But
we
Lexis
all know
King,
he's going to be fucked up. He's going to get screwed big time. But the way I look at this, I'm thinking this is probably an in way to get the system involved, because there aren't many matches that any of the members of the system have where they don't have backup.
Definitely.
So I highly believe that next week we're going to see the system backing up JDC on NXT. What do you think?
I think it's too soon.
Well, I said to you before we came on that one I can see definitely going through now with JDC there is Moose. Is definitely going to be one in the long term, especially could come through because he's been talking about getting someone to face on NXT as well for a while. So this is all like opening the door for Moose and Brian Myers and Alicia Evans come on and just raise hell. Especially Brian Myers, because given that he was on NXT and in the main roster too, and then he can come and say, "Look at me now." And I'm sort of almost like what JD had how they've turned around since they've left WWE. But like I said, I can definitely see Moose and Myers being the two guys from the system that could come. The other two guys from the system that go over and really do raise a lot of hell.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can totally see what you're saying. I mean, don't forget with Brian Myers involved, obviously in the system as well.
Yeah,
yeah, that would be a return to the WWE TV as well, wouldn't it? For him, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Now NXT Cora Jade beats who I'd like to see become a full-time knockout, of course, Hyan, in her first match on TNA Impact. What were your thoughts on that?
She took a hell of a beating in this match. I thought she got destroyed, but Cora Jade was amazing.
She's a top quality wrestler, Cora Jade, definitely.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen some of her matches before she went to NXT. You know, some of the I know she's an absolute bad. This is the first match I've seen from her ages, and wow, she is incredible.
Yeah, she's definitely strong. But I thought that Hyan sold really well. I think she got a bit of offense in as well. I really like to see Hyan get signed. I think it's been long enough. She's had several matches now, several appearances for TNA. It's about time that they slapped a contract on her, even if it was just for 12 months, to see what she can do. But I think she deserves a shot. Now, talking about Brian Myers,
Definitely.
Brian Myers, obviously with a little bit of help from his the system, of course, beat Leon Slater. Now, this I thought was a pretty damn good match, and Leon, on several occasions, I thought was going to actually beat Brian. What did you think of this match, Craig? What did you think?
I thought it was great developmental wise for Leon Slater, to be fair, because obviously he's got getting a lot of experience with these guys and that. But I do really like what they're doing with the Leon Slater push. And I will say it, and I know it's probably unpopular, especially with the people in the comments. We need to put a belt on Myers, man. We need to put a belt on him because he is stuck around for a long time. He's done a lot for the company. And he just goes with the flow and everything. He helps orchestrate the match and stuff like that. I won't lie, I thought it was a pretty 10 out of 10 match. And then obviously the system get involved and stuff like that. But we've got the future in Leon Slater, but we've got all the experience of Myers. It's just honestly, I was really happy with it. To be fair, I was really happy with it. But it's just trying to see where it's going to go next. And the. What's Slater calling himself? The youngest in charge, or
That's
something like that.
He's a young 0121 baby, youngest in charge.
So is Moose going to defect from the system, and then Leon's going to take the system over? Who knows?
Who knows? Exactly. Who knows? Now backstage, Sami attacked Mance Warner, which eventually spilled out into, of course, the Impact Zone. I know that Craig was loving this, and I have to say I'm excited to see where this feud goes. And what were your thoughts on this one, Craig?
Oh man, don't even give me this one. I'll be here all night. It was just it was one of those ones we're gonna hear from Sami, And like, as much as I'd love to hear him talk about it, I'm like, he doesn't talk with the microphone. He talks with chairs and baseball bats and stuff like that. And it's just like, here we go. Like this is just exactly what I wanted. I was just a bit upset that it was so short, you know. And but the thing is like you say, it's going to be the start of a feud, and I am just so happy that right now, not only for Sami Callihan, but Mance Warner is going to have eyes on him, eyes that are like, you know, casual fans of WWE who is going to start saying, do you know what? I'm going to give TNA a chance. I'm going to check it out and stuff like that. And people are going to see Mance Warner too. Like I was on the socials and that saying like by the end of 2025, Mance Warner will be a name on people's lips. And it won't just be TNA, because this guy, honestly, he's done things in rings, outside of rings, off of cars, off of like, you know, platforms and stuff like that. He's done all these things that have made me go, oh my God, and other things that have gone, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just, there's no limits to the guy. And a feud between Mance Warner and Sami Callihan in TNA, that is a fantasy thing for me. You know, and it's going to happen, and I am all for it. I just cannot wait for it. It's going to be so good.
Yeah,
I'm buzzing about the potential of seeing Mance Warner and Sami go hell for leather on each other again. It'll be like Pentagon and Sami
this is it,
all
like,
over again.
I seen our other the other guys, the US guys, they were talking about it, and I think J-Bone was talking about Mance Warner with the girl on the show, and she said that she's seen Mance Warner, seen him live at CZW Tournament of Death. And I'm like, oh shit, man. She started talking about it. It's like, I've seen that on TV and that made me wince, but she was there seeing it live. So in one sense, I'm jealous. In another sense, I'm like, to see someone put themselves through the shit that Mance Warner puts himself through and see it live, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I'd be able to handle it.
Oh God, Alicia loves it. She loves all that stuff. She lives for hardcore.
He is the absolute height of hardcore. The thing is with Cardona hanging around as well, you know, the King of Death match. You got Mance Warner, the Southern Psychopath. You got Sami Callihan with his experience as well. If we had a four-way, I don't know who the fourth person would be, but like,
we want
TNA, if you're listening, yeah, exactly. Bring the Firestarter in, you know, and give that a four-way match in TNA. Like you've got a 5-star match there. You've got a 5-star.
Mate, it would be awesome. Definitely would be awesome. I just think that I mean, obviously now we haven't got PCO. We definitely need to find another person. Yeah, PC who.
Con was just PCO. Like after the trip to Turkey.
You told me that if PCO was gone, you were gonna get your left tit out.
I don't remember saying that, mate.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
No, I don't remember that at all.
He did, didn't he, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm not being teamed up, not without proof. If you get me proof, we'll talk about it next week.
We're tag teaming you. You said you would get your left tit out. Anyway, we then moved on, and we had
scroll back up through some messages on the messenger, so it'll take me a while to find it.
We definitely got it. Mustafa Ali defeats Laredo Kid in a really good matchup.
That dive, Laredo Kid, he almost went straight over Mustafa Ali and straight into the crowd. I can't believe the speed and momentum he got in such a short space of time. He's so incredible. I'd love to see him and Leon Slater just go one-on-one. No limits to wherever they can go, and watch them two just fly around and knock each other out. That would be amazing.
Oh, mate, so good, so good. I'm extremely pleased that Mustafa Ali is back in TNA, and that they've actually physically signed him. I think that's absolutely awesome. I think it's a sign of things to come. I'm loving the fact that they're now doing these. It looks like they're going to go once a month with a live, which is great because it allows them to be able to bring people in or do stuff and make it a surprise, which is great. So they'll just do the surprises at the live show, and then they're around for the tapings for the next few weeks. I think that's fantastic, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Mustafa Ali is just awesome. Now, later on in the show, EY turns on Josh Alexander in a tag match that he was having with the Northern Armoury. Now, we talked about there was something going on here, didn't we? We talked about this last week. There's something going down, and we all thought that Steve Maclin was going to turn on EY and Josh, and join the Northern Army, become their new leader. But it looks like EY is thrown a spanner in the works.
Eric
Turns on
Young's
Josh
throwing the
Alexander.
curveballs. Yes.
Yeah, he's turned on Josh Alexander, and it looks like he's the one that's now become the new leader of the Northern Armoury, and he's gone back to his sort of kind of I don't know, is it a bit like Violent by Design type, characteristics he's showing again, or
Northern by design.
Northern by Design, or it could be whatever it is. Sanity. Sanity. I don't know, but what I do know is that I'm there for this because I think this was brilliant. I never saw it coming, and I thought it was really good. We are going to get to hear from EY obviously tomorrow night on Impact. On what's gone down, and will he have Steve Maclin with him, or has he turned his back on Steve Maclin as well? But we'll have to wait and see. But what did you think of the match itself? And Joe, what do you think?
The match was really good, but when Eric Young throwing that curveball, as I said, nobody, or not many people saw that coming, and Maclin walking away and just leaving it to him. I thought even then I thought Josh was just going to turn on him, and he'll get sent off with a match against Maclin or something down the line. But wow!
Well, as soon as they sent Maclin away, or as soon as Maclin went away, I'm like, right, they're setting that up because he's going to suddenly turn up. He's going to turn on it. I saw it. I was like, yes, it's going to happen. But it didn't. It completely curveballed.
Yeah, Travis Williams and Judas Icarus, they've really put both of those guys through their pace as well. So Josh has taught them well. They've learned a lot from him in the outside of TNA as well. So we can see that these two, if they were to just go their own after this, if this was just another generic tag team match, they're amazing talent as it is. But now they've got Eric Young backing them up too. Oh my god, I'm really looking forward to seeing where these guys go now.
I think it's just a great time again because we can't guess what's going on. We try and guess and we get it wrong, and that's the joy of it. It's not predictable. It's not GFW.
No, exactly. Exactly. And of course, where is Josh Alexander's next move? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. He's a free agent, and I
think that might be him being written off.
I think that was him. He's written off. That's it. He's gone. I think that will be we won't see him again.
Yeah.
Not yet. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure we will see Maclin tomorrow.
I am sure.
We will see Maclin tomorrow.
Pretty sure of that.
He'll be wanting answers.
He will. So then we get Wes Lee defeating Ace Austin with a little help from his NXT buddies, Tyson and Tyreek. Tyson and Tyreek are massive, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are big dudes.
Wesley's looking incredible. Wesley's looking amazing.
Yeah, but he's like half the size width-wise. Like he stands in front of these two behemoths behind him. He looks tiny, and he's like 6 foot.
I know.
These guys are enormous. And a hell of a tag team from what I can gather. But it's great to see Wes back. I thought his match with Ace was fantastic. What did you think on this?
His promo before the match was good too. Just really, really stating the facts as to why he's here.
Yeah.
He came across natural as well.
Yeah. It's brilliant. His promo work is amazing.
What did you think of this one, Craig?
Oh man, the thing is like they're two lads. We've had Ace Austin for a long time. Desmond Xavier in his former self. Leon Slater reminds me a lot of him. I will say that. With the moveset and like that. But they jump like diagonally out the ring over the turnbuckle post and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember when Wesley, Xavier back in that time, when he done that jump and he cleared the turnbuckle post and the railing, and he landed in
Yes,
that was huge.
It was the Rascals versus Moose in the North.
Right? Yeah.
He just cleared everybody.
It was just honestly absolutely insane, and to see those two go at it again in the TNA ring, something I didn't think would happen, was amazing. And like Joe said, the promo work that Wesley does now. He's come a hell of a long way, and that's someone who's properly evolved, and I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean? He can come back anytime, But it was just seeing him and bringing his guys with him, and like that. Both those guys are the size of small cars. Do you know what I mean? And like, I totally agree with you. It makes him look smaller, but the fact he's bringing them along and they're getting the taste of TNA too. I would love to see them in the ring. I'd love to see those two guys go against someone like the Good Hands or something like that, just to give them a run. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match again, like, you know, you can't fault it. Both of them just they sold well, they connected well, and like Ace Austin was just phenomenal as usual.
Oh, you can't knock Ace Austin. Whenever he goes out there, he's so good.
He's the mascot.
But I think you're talking about
Dogs
Barry.
in it.
Barry, you're talking about Tyreek, buddy. You're talking about Tyreek. But yes, no, he's very good as well. Now, we then moved on and we had Nick and Ryan Nemeth defeating First Class after a pretty good match, I must say. But Nick hits his finisher and then Ryan sneaks a tag to then get the pin for 1, 2, 3.
My big brother.
Yeah, Nick did not look very impressed, to be honest. But they celebrated, and Impact obviously went off air. But you're right. I think, my big brother.
Can we get him having a row with Alicia?
Oh man!
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
That would be hilarious. That would be so good.
I'm all for hearing Alicia, but I couldn't listen to him going on like that for ages. But I'll be there.
You want to know something? Yeah. I love the fact she plays on that now because she knows everyone thinks it's so annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's move on. Impact this Thursday on Access TV, TNA Plus, and of course, is it Sportsnet 360 in Canada?
Right.
Joe Hendry is going to be in concert, so we're going to get some sing-songs. What are your thoughts? Are we going to get some new sing-songs? What are we going to get?
Oh man, I want him to sing. Can you please get fired again?
That's a good
That was
one.
awesome. That was it. Higher by Creed.
But
And
are we
it's,
going to get? Are we going to get something related to John Cena? Is he going to call out John Cena in song?
Oh, I would love to see it. He'll just break down into a rap because Joe Hendry can do anything from a music perspective. He's done rap in some of his entrance musics in the past, and he's done rips on Eminem and that in some of his
I reckon it's
entrances
going to
and
get
that.
interrupted by by JBL, Mr. Layfield.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we would have known about that because this is a taped episode. But you never know. You never know. We've also got the Nemeth brothers versus Fraxium for the NXT title. So that title being defended again on TNA.
They got that match after Ryan Nemeth went backstage to Santino and was saying, "Oh, we now we've beaten them. Me and Nemeth should be going for the TNA tag titles." And did you know if you saw the whole? It's all on Twitter and that it was all post-match promo. It's on Twitter. It's on TNA Plus. So, throughout the entire thing, Nick Nemeth was there going, "Shut up, shut up, let me talk." You can see him, the frustration. Nemeth is really playing this. Oh God, will he just shut
He's
him up,
going to
please?
turn on him. I think.
Yeah.
Nemeth's
I
going to turn
totally
on him.
agree. I reckon, like Sid Rhodes just said there, Nick Nemeth, will he turn heel? Yeah, I reckon he turns on his brother and then just goes wild.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think he's going to snap and just.
I hope so. I really want to see a real heel Nick Nemeth. I think it'd be really good, really good. That would. I think we've seen the fighting champion. We've seen that from him. Now let's see a nasty Nick Nemeth. Let's see him really go Dolph Ziggler, shall we? I think that would be great. That would be great.
It'll be darker and Dolph Ziggler if he goes full blown heel, and
he can become Dolph. He can become Darth
Ziggler,
Darth Nemeth.
Yeah,
I reckon Darth Nemeth would be interesting. Anyway, we're going to have the Hardy Boys with Leon Slater taking on the system of I think it's Moose, Myers, and JDC. I believe this should be an interesting one, and I think it'll be good to see Leon Slater doing all the work and really showcasing what he can do. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, the Hardys have pulled their weight. Don't underestimate the Hardys.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure this is going to be all about showcasing Leon Slater all the way.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're gonna give him as much time as they can in the ring, but they will pull that
I'm
weight.
sure they will, Joe. I'm sure they will. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just saying that I'm sure this is all about showing off Leon as much as possible. So this should be really good. And if anything, I can see Leon Slater pinning Moose so they get
Yeah.
the win. And then
He does need an X Division title shot and an X Division title run.
got
Definitely.
to get it before.
Do you reckon that's this year though? Do you reckon Slater gets gold this year?
He's got to do it because he's got to beat Amazing Red, hasn't he?
Yeah, I really hope he does. I hope he does.
He has to because they were playing on that already. They were playing on that last year, so it's got to happen.
Yeah, and Leon Slater's been saying it for a while. I want to be the next. I want to be the younger. I want to be the youngest X Division champion. I want to be the youngest and being the youngest in charge. And if Moose is saying that the X Division is the title of TNA, so if Leon Slater gets that, then he will definitely be the youngest in charge.
What do you reckon then? Like Leon Slater wins the title, okay? He becomes the X Division champion, and then Moose comes out with the system, starts saying like, "I'm going to get that title back" and all that lot, and he's like, "I'm the youngest in charge," and then JDC, Myers, and Edwards just walk across the ring and stand for Slater, and they all doing Moose. Imagine that. Imagine that.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
the youngest in charge, and then the system turns up on NXT, but it's Leon Slater. Anyway. I digress. My imagination's kicked in.
Oh my God, Craig, you come up with some interesting points there, mate. But I am glad you're not on the TNA Creative. I must admit.
I give you all heart attacks.
Yeah. We will also hear from EY, of course, on joining the Northern Armoury. So they've made
why?
So yeah, that should be interesting. We've also got the KO Battle Royale for the #1 contendership. Who's going to be in that? I think we know that obviously, your usual suspects will be in that, but are we going to see Jada turn up, the Jada or Cora Jada, whatever her name is? Are we going to see her in that? And then obviously ultimately winning to get her shot. Maybe at Rebellion, I don't know, or maybe at Full Sail for the live show. Possibly, I don't know, but he's a fantastic wrestler. And she is a fantastic wrestler. I'd love to see her have a shot in Masha. Would be cool. We then got Santana versus Mid Cardona, who, at the end of the day, I was saying this the other day. If he actually signed with a company, he might actually get to win some matches, right? Because you just know he's going up against, he goes and gets a world title shot with Joe. Joe beats him. He's now got a match with Mike Santana. Well, we know Mike Santana is being primed for a potential world title shot in the future. He's not going to lose to Matt Cardona, is he?
Joe, have you actually said happy birthday to Santana?
Not yet, no. No, not. Yes, big shout out to Mike Santana. Happy birthday for yesterday.
34 years young,
yeah.
I might add.
Yep.
Mate, he's got so much time ahead of him, and Santana, we take our minds back to when we got this new version of LAX. I'm sure a lot of us were like, it's not Hernandez, it's not Homicide and stuff like that. And they absolutely set the world light.
I was just buzzing.
Mate, they set the world light, and then to see Conan back with us and stuff like that. But all that tag team stuff, and then whatever the hell happened in Tony's little playground, to have Santana back in TNA. And going on this solo run, mate, what a character, man. What a character. His physique, what he's like on the mic. When I was saying earlier about Mance Warner doing things where I cover my eyes, I covered my eyes when he was going to curb stomp Josh Alexander on those steps. I was just I can't see this, because how do you feign this? How do you stop your face from hitting those steps?
Yeah.
He's completely defenseless. But honestly, I think Santana, he's on this rise, he's on this elevation, and I think we'd be stupid to not do something about it.
Yeah, he's going to get there. It might be a bang for glory, a BFG moment or something like that. But,
it'll be Slammiversary of Bang for Glory. They're going to build him and Mustafa Ali, I think, alongside Joe Hendry through to the end of
I
the
love
year
it.
and give them all a
Slammer
huge,
says,
huge, huge showdown.
Slammer says I was 34 when I was his age. Well,
Yeah.
you're 34 to you're 35, mate.
I was 34
Yeah.
at his age too. So we've also got Ace Austin versus is it Tyson Dupont? I think is his name, the NXT
Dupont.
guy, the ginormous black guy that's basically dwarfs Wes Lee when he stands behind him. He's going to be facing Ace Austin this Thursday. That should be interesting. Are we then going to get him versus Tyreek as well? I don't know. I don't know. This is building to something between these guys. But yeah,
Something.
he's injured, isn't he? I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's injured at the moment. He's
Well,
gonna-
shout out
gonna
to
have
him. I hope he gets well soon. He's coming on our show. We love him.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
great guy. He's a great guy. Now, guys, unfortunately, that's all we got time for this week. Also, if you want to show us some support for the TNI UK team, please feel free to super sticker us or head over to prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact with some great shirts, including the Bison shirt, I might add. Or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links, of course, are below. There's also a Bison shirt on there. And there's also the TNI UK impacted logo shirt as well. So if you love our logo, there's lots of shirts on there for that. All TNI shows are available to all of you listening on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favourite shows. We are, of course, there. Where can we find you on the socials, Craig?
Me?
Yeah,
I thought you was going to go with Joe first.
Nah,
all right, I'll go. It's fine. It's fine. I am LimpstarUK on pretty much anything and everything. Facebook, Instagram. There's something else. Oh, TikTok. The TikTok. I'm absolutely doom scrolling TikToks at the moment. So follow me on there, and I'll probably check out what you've put up because why not? That's what it's there for. And I am still Network Stooge on X because I don't know how to change my name. So yeah, give us a follow. I'll follow you back. And yeah, but anyone who's into like a little bit that dance music, I'm Limpstar on SoundCloud, and I've started a series of 20 years of Limpstar, so I've started putting up a load of stuff on there. So I think Jason's had a few too many Smarties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've put some stuff on my SoundCloud now, so I'm going to start uploading more and more on there. So it's good if you've got like if you go to a gym or something like that, it'll get you through it.
Definitely. And what about you, Joe? Where can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at JKEmptySpace. You can follow me on Twitter. No, you can look for #EmptySpace, #EnterTheVoid, or if you fancy to tick your Facebooks and your sense of humor, #DailyGiggle on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But approach with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity. Susie's walked away. She's got no interest in it. My dog's walked off my lap. She's got no interest in
Sanity. And of course, if you want to follow TNI on the socials, at We Talk Impact is pretty much where you'll find us on any social media whatsoever. So at We Talk Impact, go and check us out. We do like a good follow, so make sure you do. And of course, if you want to find out a bit more about the Bison, you can find me at Lord Bison 45 on the X. Or TikTok at Bison by Design. Go and check me out on there. Please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or of course a smash to never miss any of the great content, TNA related content coming out each and every week from both the UK and the US teams. With all that said, of course, I've been your host, Bison, and they have been the Joker and the Limpster. And of course, I'd like to say a quick thank you to Vicious Vicki for joining us at the top of the show. Don't forget to go and check her out if you don't know much about her already. She is a fantastic star of the future, so make sure you go and check her out. And of course, this has been episode 216 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.